All right, you guys, I'm sitting down with Avery Bradley, who is the VP of Player Development here at the Jazz. And so, Avery, the fans just want to know, what is the role?
I always tell people their role is kind of shaping itself each and every day. But for me, I look at it as an opportunity to kind of help players on and off the court. I was blessed enough to play 12 seasons and been through a lot, picked up a lot of different experiences, and I feel like it's my job now to help players navigate through their career now. With the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows of the season, I think I have an opportunity to kind of help them, not only on the court, but off the court as well.
Avery is one of my favorites ever.
The conversations that I'm gonna have with, Avery Bradley, he's gonna be in here. I'm gonna, pick his brain, little tips and tricks.
Avery was not my hire, however. I introduced Avery to Will and to Justin and told Avery, you got to prove to them that they need you.
I felt like I still had something to give back to the game. I just wasn't sure what it was. And one day I just got a call from Jay-Z and he told me, I think we have a position for you that we think is perfect. And I was lucky to get drafted. I broke my ankle maybe my fourth or fifth workout. And Celtics picked me and I was surprised. I was like, man, I'm grateful. They called me, told me to come in, fly in on the red eye from Seattle to Boston that first, right after I was drafted, and I was extremely nervous. I didn't want to talk around those guys. I didn't want to make any mistakes. And once it got to basketball, I just didn't feel like I was ready. I was really prepared. Rajon used to roll me the ball and say, hey, go with the first unit. And man, I was so scared. I used to mess up the plays. Doc used to scream at me, and then Doc used to tell me, Avery, speed up. And then KG and Paul used to say, slow down. And it was like, man, I was always wrong.
Yeah.
But there was a point in my career where when they sent me to the G League, or it was the D League at the time, and it changed my entire career. KG actually told the story in Chicago. I was just there and I saw him, and I came back. I had no haircut, and I dunked on Kendrick Perkins the first practice, and Doc ended the practice, and that's when I was like, okay, I can play.
I think what's important to note is just you taking that time in the D League, now G League, and really embracing that. Because now with your role as player development, those are going to be some of the conversations that you have. Can you talk about just how integral that was for you in your career?
It was big time. I think my entire journey, again, experiences that you go through, I think help you relate to younger players. I've been through everything. I've been the #1 player in the country, to on the bench, to G League, to being on the bench, to being traded, to starting, taking advantage of an opportunity. So I kind of touched every area that a player can, go through in his career. And I think that's really important, man, because it's genuine. It's a genuine conversation.
We're gonna be doing some meditation. He's big on meditation, and I'm big on meditation, especially before the game. It's gonna be cool just to pick his brain on how it helped him and how it helped his career.
I would get to the arena early so I could create that quiet time for myself. There was a point where I would cut off communication and I would start my visualization process. I didn't watch film when I played, unfortunately. I'm not saying players
that doesn't
shouldn't
work
watch
for
film. But for me, it was more so a practice of my intuition and instincts. When I was able to go into that visualization, I would go in and start thinking about the player I was guarding, how I was going to guard him, different scenarios throughout a game. When I would get out there on the court, I honestly felt like I was them. I was mirroring what they were doing. It was just instincts and intuition.
That makes a lot of sense for the type of player that you were, because you're able to protect and predict what they're about to do.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of him. I loved him in Boston and my time with him. He's a real pro. I think he has a calm demeanor that he can relate to people very well.
I think it's really cool because when Danny talked about hiring you, he said that you really earned this role. Of course, he had a great relationship with you, but you did the interview. It was an interview process with Lil Hardy and Justin Zanuck. Just talk about kind of just building those relationships.
Wanted this position and the relationships to be organic between me, Justin, and Coach Will, and I was nervous. I was
Really?
nervous. Yeah, I was. I was.
It's like being a rookie again.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, we have a great staff here.
Yeah.
From top to bottom, and the guys made me feel extremely comfortable and confident in what I could provide to the team, and I was excited about it because I just felt like this was where I needed to be. And I want to give back to younger players, and I don't want them to make the same mistakes or take for granted like this career because it goes by so fast. There was a lot of times I wasn't in the moment and I took it for granted, like me starting and or me having good games or even the bad games. Like I didn't really know how to navigate through it, and I didn't have anyone there to help me all the time. And I feel like I kind of want to be that guy for players throughout their season and throughout their career, and someone for them to lean on, and hopefully I can help them.
What will success look like for you this season?
Success for me, I think, is just learning as much as possible, having an open mind, connecting to the players, and having an impact on them on the court and off the court. And I think kind of just being that guy that is able to be the connector in all areas for the training staff, for the medical team, for the front office, for the coaching staff. Just trying to touch everywhere and seeing where I can help. I think that's a successful year for me.
Well, Avery, thank you so much for taking the time to just talk about your new role here, but also talk about some of the things that are so incredibly important to you. I just can't wait to see all that you're able to do with these young guys, the conversations that you're able to have, and what we're going to be able to see on the court.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Thank you for having me.
Of course, welcome to the Jazz.
Thank you.